Who will be the X factor for the Raptors in this upcoming playoffs?
I have two, but it all depends on matchups. Okay, so I'm gonna go if they play Milwaukee or Philly. I think Marc Gasol is gonna be their X factor. Why?
Again?
Because he has to. The big men. Giannis is imposing down low. He's gonna need that help, and he has to guard. He did pretty well against Joel Embiid last time they played, so he has to guard Joel Embiid. If they play a team like Boston or Miami, I think a Norman Powell is gonna need to step up and be that scorer. Like they're gonna need that scoring off the bench, that guy that J.R. Smith role, that guy that can get buckets. So I would take Norman Powell if they play those teams, and Marc Gasol if they play those big teams.
How about you, Jason?
Me, overall, I would say like two players. I would say it would have to be Norman Powell and probably Fred VanVleet. I know Fred VanVleet's been having a really good season, actually kind of a breakout season in his regard. You saw last year when he played well in the finals, averaging 16 points, really helped them take down the Warriors. So I think if he plays on pace with how he's been playing this season, he'll be fine. And Norman Powell, too, you always need that guy that can come off the bench. When your starters are tired of scoring, you have someone like Norman Powell who could come off the bench. He's gotten a better jumper. He could defend. He can slash. So he's really improved this season as well. So, I mean, I'm going to say Fred VanVleet and Norman Powell are the X factors for the Raptors.
I mean, you guys kind of cheated there. I thought we were all going ones, but okay.
Sorry.
I'll give you my one.
You could do two
because I don't think X Factor. When I think of X Factor, I just discount the stars.
I know who you're gonna pick. Matt Thomas. Matt Thomas.
So
he's not bad.
I'm not going Siakam. I'm not going Kyle
I
Lowry.
wasn't saying the stars.
My X Factor is Norman Powell, and for the very reason that he's having a breakout season, 16 points per game, 4 rebounds, shooting 50% from the field and 40% from the three. If you guys didn't know, he's 4th in win shares. He's 4th in PER on the team, and he's 2nd in real plus minus. So he's their real X factor, and he's the only player out of the group of Lowry, VanVleet, Siakam, OG, and Ibaka or Gasol that comes off the bench.
Gasol/Gasol?
Gasol/Ibaka.
Oh.
Yeah, Gasol/Ibaka. And Norman Powell consistently comes off the bench, and they need his scoring, like you said, to match up with any team. I think not just Miami or Boston, but Philly or Milwaukee, they need Norman Powell. Like last year in the playoffs, he only averaged 7 points per game, but he only took 5 shots a game.
I think because Danny Green was there.
Yeah, so now Norman Powell is going to – I know that he has a chip on his shoulder because he's consistently gotten better in this game. I think he doubled his scoring average.
Yeah.
So a player like that is going to come ready to play.
I know.
Yeah.
So what since we're on the Raptors, what do you guys think about the impact OG Anunoby is gonna need to have? Now he has to replace that Kawhi Leonard status, and he's healthy now. The Raptors are everybody's pretty much healthy. So what do you think the impact OG needs to have for them to be successful?
I mean, I don't think it's just OG. I think it's OG, a combination of Terrence Davis and Rondae Hollis-Jefferson, that are just going to have to guard that wing spot. And I think you've seen Rondae Hollis-Jefferson play on the Nets. He's a really good defender.
He is.
So
you can't score for his life, though.
So if you have Terrence Davis is a good defender, and so is OG.
He's slept on. He's a good rookie.
I think OG, he has to do what he's just been doing: score 10 points a game, spread out the floor, and play great defense. And in the playoffs, if he does that, it's nothing off of what he's been doing already for the Raptors.
What about you,
I mean, I agree. I mean, I think OG Anunoby he's a pretty good shooter. He can defend the 3 spot really well. I mean, you need that. I mean, we're saying we're going to replace Kawhi. You can't ever replace Kawhi on both sides of the ball. But in his defense, he's a really good defender, and he's actually a really good shooter. So him stepping out there guarding the wings in the East, I think that's not. It's never going to replace Kawhi, but that's a very, very good guy to have. Just switch out and guard.
Who do you think they're gonna put on Giannis when they play?
They're gonna have to put him on Giannis.
You
can't put Siakam on. You can't. Siakam
versus Giannis, it's a team thing.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying, who do you think they're gonna put him at the top?
Well, Siakam needs to score, so I would put OG Anunoby. Have Siakam conserve his energy for the offensive side of the ball. OG's already a defensive player, so you just put him on there. Not saying he's gonna really stop him because you can't, but he would. If I was Nick Nurse, I'd put him as a primary defender guarding Giannis.
I'll probably put Pascal on Chris Middleton.
Why? You're not comfortable with Fred and Kyle Lowry. They're good defenders. I
want to win. I will put my best defenders on the best players on Milwaukee. That's just me, though. I mean, I would keep Kyle Lowry on. I'd feel comfortable putting Fred on
on Chris Middleton. Not saying he's gonna stop him, but Fred's a really good defender.
I would feel comfortable putting Norman Powell or
Norman Powell off the bench.
So he comes
off the bench. But I'd feel comfortable putting OG.
I would put OG on Giannis.
But you would put OG over Siakam on Giannis?
Just to conserve energy.
I mean, the way, yeah. I mean,
and last year we saw how it went when he tried to guard Giannis. It was really bad.
It didn't really go that well.
But I don't know.
But Siakam's not taking it away from him. He's a good defender.
For me, I think that I'd want Siakam to be at a cornerstone in the wall that Toronto would build against Milwaukee. So I wouldn't want OG. I mean, I wouldn't want Siakam to guard Middleton.
Right.
I would want like Fred to guard Middleton.
Yeah. I feel fine putting Fred on.
Or
Lowry.
I'll put Lowry then, if anything.
Either one.
Lowry's tough. Please.
I mean, I don't know. I'm uncomfortable with the size and the mismatch at the side. I feel like Middleton, he's people think he's just a spot up shooter, and he's not a spot up.
He can create his own shot.
He can create his own shot. I think against Fred VanVleet, who's like 6'1", he plays defense, but
he's gonna shoot over him.
Yeah, I just feel like I would be comfortable with the size.
He's gonna shoot over anybody in their backcourt.
It's not that easy though.
It's not.
Fred's a good defender.
He is. It's not that easy.
And Lowry's too. He's rough.
I don't know. I would just feel more comfortable putting 6'9" Pascal on Chris Middleton.
When we talk about just shooting over Fred, I think even if he shoots over Fred, but Fred is still on him, that's a good defensive possession. I wouldn't feel mad about that possession.
Yeah. Now, if it gets out of hand, that's when you make the adjustments. But I mean, we have to see him do it first. You know what I mean?
True.
That wall, I mean, you think the wall's going to stop him again? Because I don't really see any improvement in his jumper that much this year. I mean
he can hit free throws.
He's hitting more threes than he ever has, but I mean,
he's taking more threes.
If I'm Toronto, I'm doing the same thing, building the wall. And
Giannis
leaving Bledsoe open.
If Mike Budenholzer is in that fourth quarter and it's a close game and hopefully Bledsoe is hitting shots or he has George Hill in, it's going to be a problem for Toronto because you can't help over George Hill. He can shoot the ball.
Yeah, he can shoot.
You can't help over Middleton, so you can't help over Brook Lopez. You can, but you really can't.
He's not that consistent this year.
So it's like, I don't know. I'll put – it depends on what Mike Budenholzer does. If he puts Bledsoe in, you can help off Bledsoe.
How about DiVincenzo?
You cannot help on him. He can shoot the ball too. So
he's pretty good too. He slept on.
And he can play D. So
yeah, he locks up. He's pretty good.
It depends. It really depends on Bledsoe. I don't know
if they're hitting their shots, that wall is not gonna work.
Not if Bledsoe is hitting his shots, you can't help. You literally can't help. That's who they helped off of, Bledsoe, because his shot is broke.
Was a brick last year.
Yeah.
But what do you think Toronto needs to do to
win?
To beat Milwaukee if they were to face them?
Just play team ball. Just find a way to contain Giannis as much as you can. Find a way to realistically, you can't stop a superstar. What you can do is isolate his help, right? Mm-hmm. So he can have whatever, the 40 balls, yeah. But if you stop the help, Toronto's a pretty well-rounded team where you're not gonna beat them by yourself. If you're gonna beat Toronto, you gotta have a team effort. So it's like if you let Giannis go, like
it's just I'm just laughing because this is so juxtaposed to what you said last week.
Yeah. If you let Giannis put 40 and 15 on you, but the team is playing garbage, you're gonna win the game. So I think you just gotta minimize everybody else, and then you'll be all right. But on offense, Toronto has to show up too.
Yeah, no more bad series for Pascal because he had a really bad one last year.
Yeah, they got to show up. Pascal has to take that next leap.
But I mean, everybody from last year pretty much has gotten better. That's on the roster. So I mean, it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, that's all they got to do is take the next step. Honestly, realistically.